Hi there! Welcome to Permit How To, a non-government public service video channel sharing information about the building permit process in Glendale, California. This is the fourth video in a series aimed at helping the public better understand zoning in Glendale. This video summarizes Glendale's design review process. Not all cities require design review, and Glendale's is rigorous and affects almost everything, including roofing, siding, windows, doors, exterior walls and fences, etc. Design review is currently a subjective process open to individual interpretation of broad design guidelines, which can lead to inconsistency and therefore challenges in the design review process. Many state laws are currently being passed that are aimed at removing restrictions on housing development, and these may soon require cities to change their design review process to consist entirely of objective design standards, which would remove the uncertainty and expedite the review process. Check the comments for any updates. In the meantime, the City of Glendale, California Comprehensive Design Guidelines are intended to ensure that development projects within the city conform to a high standard of design excellence, which respects the city's character, history, and natural environment. The guidelines aim to promote urban design, architecture, and landscaping that create a sense of place, enhance the public realm, and improve the quality of life for Glendale residents. The guidelines outline specific design criteria for various types of development, including residential, commercial, and mixed-use projects. These criteria include guidelines for three categories of design. 1. Site planning, including things like building and garage location, yards, landscaping, and walls and fences. 2. Building massing and scale, including relating the building to the surrounding building context and topography, and controlling scale and proportion. And 3. Design detailing, including architectural consistency, entryways, windows and doors, and finished materials. In addition, the guidelines also provide specific direction for preservation and adaptive reuse of historic structures, and for projects in downtown Glendale. To comply with these design guidelines, project applicants must submit design proposals that conform to the guidelines' requirements. City staff will evaluate incoming projects to determine which of four categories they fall into. The first category of design review is when design review is not applicable. This happens where there is no exterior work, no building permit required, the property does not contain a historic resource, or the project is a fence or wall less than 3 feet high that is not visible from the street or sidewalk next to the property. The next three categories are for when design review does apply. The first category is design review exemption. What qualifies under this category changes over time, so make sure to check the code on the city's website for the latest. Currently, this category includes things like minor changes to the building facade or minor structures, additions at the rear, detached residential garages, and detached accessory buildings as long as they comply with the design guidelines and are not historic. The fee for this application is currently around $400. Fees get adjusted annually, and the processing time is typically from a few days to a few weeks. The second category is administrative design review. This is applicable for certain larger projects that do not qualify for exemption, but may qualify for staff-level review with no public hearing, but still with public noticing and public input. Examples are additions and remodels at the front, and additions at the rear that add a story, as long as they comply with the design guidelines. The fee for this application is currently from $7,000 to $8,000. Fees get adjusted annually, and processing time is several months. The third category is design review board. This is the same process as an administrative design review, but it includes a public hearing. This level of review typically applies to new houses, additions at the front that add a story, and projects that do not comply with the design guidelines, since staff cannot recommend approval, so they need to be reviewed by the board. The fee for this level of review is currently $7,000 to $11,000. Fees get adjusted annually, and the processing time is several months. It is important that applicants follow the city's design guidelines in order to obtain a staff recommendation of approval, and to ensure the design review board will approve the project. Make sure to read and apply the design guidelines carefully. You may also consider checking the city's website for design review board meetings to see other projects that have been proposed and see how they were reviewed. From that website, here are a couple brief examples of projects as they moved through the design process to apply Glendale's design guidelines. This single-family hillside addition, with the original proposal on top and the revised proposal on the bottom shows how the design was developed to decrease apparent massing and scale. This single-family addition, with the original proposal on top and the revised proposal on the bottom, shows how the design was developed to decrease apparent massing and scale and refine the design for a stronger architectural style. To expedite processing of your project, make sure it complies with the design guidelines. Check the comments section of this video for any updates to the information that was presented here. And feel free to leave a comment if you have any suggestions for other video topics you would like to see on this channel. Thanks for watching!